and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be hauling all the books that I bought in September. I think I bought around 12 or 14 books. I've lost track at this point. I really need to stop buying books. It's really bad. Yeah, so basically these are books I bought in September, but I'm hauling them now just because I want to. Also, there's probably not going to be a book haul for November because I'm on a book buying ban. I don't know if I'll be able to maintain it. I hope I do. So yeah, basically until Christmas I'm not allowed to buy any more books than half of the amount I read in the month before. So like in September I read 7, so in October I can only buy 3 to 4 books. I've also made a rule where I can only buy sequels. So for example, I couldn't just buy a new series or a standalone or something like that just because I have too many books to get to. So like for example, I have This Savage Song by V. Schwab. So say if I read that, I could buy the sequel, but I couldn't buy a new series. So yeah, the first book I bought in September was The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. I actually just recently added this to my TBR and I was not expecting to buy it. However, I found it for £6.50 on Book Depository, which is incredible for a hardcover. Like normally a paperback is £7, so like £6.50 for this. It's also really pretty on the inside. Look at it, it's so nice. I'm honestly not even sure what this book is about. Okay, so I just read the synopsis and basically about this girl who like gets kidnapped and taken to Oxford, which is actually a secret city. Yeah, a secret city, and yeah, that's all I could make out. The next book I bought was Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. I've actually already read this and gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It's an adult romance about the main character, Chloe Brown, who has a near-death experience and she realises that she hasn't really lived her life to the fullest. So she decides to create a list, a bucket list, of all the things that she wants to do before she dies, and starts to tick them off and falls in love in the process of it. But yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I loved the characters, I loved the plot. It was just a solid read. The next book I bought was Felix Ever After by Kacen Callender, another book that I read in September. I loved this book, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It follows a young trans queer boy called Felix and basically follows his journey in school. Someone anonymously sends him transphobic messages and basically he's trying to get to the bottom of it whilst experiencing new things at the same time. But yes, I absolutely loved this book. Everything about it was amazing and I'm so glad that I bought it. Next book I bought is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. This book is horror, I'm pretty sure, and it's on my October TBR because it's spooky. This follows a woman who receives a letter from her cousin who's just recently been married, basically begging for help, saying that her husband's poisoning her. So the main character goes down to Mexico to her house, which is apparently haunted, and that's all I know, but it sounds really interesting, so hopefully I'll like it and get round to it this month. Also, I'd like to apologise if I'm really boring. I'm trying to figure out how to like actually have a personality on camera. I feel like I sit down and just start saying the things that I need to say without actually like saying anything interesting. I'm trying, but it's a bit difficult when you're the only person in the room and you're just talking to yourself. The next book my mum actually bought me is The Memory of Babel. It is the 3rd book in the Mirror Visitor quartet. I've already read the first 2 and gave them both 5 out of 5 stars. I love them so much. I know I've described the plot of this series I think in like 2 other videos, but I'm just going to do it again in case you haven't seen them. But basically it's about a world that has been shattered into different pieces called arcs, and on each arc there's like societies where people live, and the main character Ophelia lives on an arc called Anima or Anima, I'm not really sure of the pronunciation, but she basically is arranged to be married to a man on an arc called the Pole, and Anima and the Pole are like completely different. The Pole is very like harsh and the people there are like dangerous and people just like kill each other there and stuff, so she basically has to learn how to survive in that new environment. and I think it's became one of my new favourite series of all time. I love the first two books so much, so hopefully I'll like this one just as much. So the next thing I bought was actually the Noughts and Crosses series, all 4 books. I got this from a shop in the UK called The Works, and basically what they do is they have book box sets for really cheap prices. So I got all 4 of these books for £8, which is good because that's like the price of one book in like another shop. I'm not 100% sure on the plot of this book. I know that people are separated and there's like people called Noughts and people called Crosses, and it comments on racism, and there's a forbidden romance, I'm pretty sure. But that's all I know, and to be honest I'd quite like to go into it without knowing much, so hopefully I enjoy it because I did buy the whole series. But yeah, I've heard great things about it. I've had it recommended to me on TikTok so many times, so hopefully it lives up to the hype. And also from The Works, I bought another book box set for £5. I don't think they're from a series, but they're all from the same author. The first one is The Lie Tree by Frances Hardinge. This follows a girl in the Victorian era whose dad goes missing, and basically she's trying to like solve where her dad went and tries to like tell people what she's found out and stuff, but apparently no one believes her because she's just like a little girl. That's all I really know. I feel like I'm saying this about every book, but to be honest I barely know anything about the books I plan to read before I read them, just because I like, I don't know, a surprise I guess. So the next book is Cuckoo Song by the same author. So I just read the blurb and it's about a girl waking up after an accident and there's something not right and she's trying to figure out what. That's literally all it says. But it sounds interesting. Both these books actually sound really interesting, so hopefully I like these. And the last one is called Fly By Night by the same author again. So I just read the blurb of this one and it sounds really interesting actually. It says, in a land where books are considered dangerous, Mosca Mai, an orphan with an all-consuming hunger for words, and her loyal companion, a large and homicidal goose, are about to become unlikely heroes of a revolution. So it sounds really interesting. A large and homicidal goose. So I want to figure out how that comes into the book. But yeah, all 3 of these books actually seem really interesting, and I've heard great things. And also the covers are really pretty. Look at that one. So yeah, that was another box set I got from The Works. So in total from The Works I got 7 books for £13, which is actually amazing. Look who joined the video. Say hi, Bonnie. This is my dog Bonnie. She's very old and very grumpy, but she wanted to say hi. She doesn't like getting picked up. So the next book I got is Cinderella is Dead by Kaylin Bayron. I have heard so many people talk about this book on TikTok. So many people have been buying it, so I just thought I should hop on the trend and get it. Essentially all I know about this book is it's a sapphic Cinderella retelling, which sounds amazing to be honest. So yeah, I am so excited for this one. Hopefully I'll get to it soon and hopefully I'll like it. It's actually a very short book for a fantasy, and also I think it's a standalone. So I'm excited to see how they wrap it all up in this amount of pages. But yes, I'm so excited. I feel like I say that about every book, but I suppose that's a good thing that I'm excited. I know this next book doesn't really count, but I bought it on the same day as the 2 box sets from The Works and Cinderella is Dead, and it's a French to English dictionary basically. And yeah, my mum bought me it because I'm doing French at university and it just looked really helpful. It's basically just got like different categories like food and pictures and the translation, so I think it's very easy to follow along and hopefully it will help me. And last but not least, the next 2 books I actually bought this month in October, but I'm just going to count them anyway because I'm probably not going to have a haul in November if my book buying ban goes to plan. So the first one I picked up was Heartless by Marissa Meyer. Another Marissa Meyer book that I have 4 of them now. Haven't read any of them yet, so I'm really like putting my trust in her. Hopefully her writing's good. I think it will be because so many people seem to like her books, so why wouldn't I like them too? So all I know about this is it's a, what's that queen called again? Queen of Hearts retelling from Alice in Wonderland. So all I know is that, and also it's supposed to be really sad. So I better prepare to cry at it. I don't normally cry at books, to be honest. I mean, I read The Song of Achilles just a couple of days ago and literally felt no emotion. So, and everyone talks about how sad that book is all the time. So, don't know if this will make me cry or not. We'll see. And last but not least is Obsidio by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. This is the third and last book in the Illuminae files, the first book being Illuminae, which is up there, and Gemina, which is down there. I've read the first two books, loved them both, gave the first book 4 stars, second book 5 stars, so hopefully this one will also be just as good. This series is sci-fi and it's written in mixed media, so like surveillance footage and emails and text messages and stuff like that. So it's really fast paced despite being very chunky books. The series is about this planet that's like being taken over or invaded by this company, and basically the main characters in Illuminae, Ezra and Cady, have to escape on spaceships, and it's just what happens after that basically, and it's really, really good. Highly recommend it if you haven't read it already, but you probably have because everyone has. I feel like I'm like the last person to read this series. But yeah, that's all the books I bought in September and the start of October. I just counted and it's 16 books, which is really bad. That's why I'm on a book buying ban now. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Comment down below any books that you've bought this month or got from the library. And yeah, hope you have a good day. Bye!